Hello folks, Dr. Nels here. Another round for us to learn from, for me to learn from, for you to learn from as we try to deliver some content to help you. And we were talking about bridging the generations last week, and this week we're going to dive in a little deeper, and we're going to talk about us Xers and Boomers and more of what our weaknesses are and maybe some of the things we need to do. Whether it's at home in relationships, or at school in relationships, or at work in relationships. But for us Boomers and Xers, there's some things that we struggle with in terms of working with millennials. And as we look inward, we think about, all right, so what part of this am I not getting right? Am I struggling with a millennial in our place of work? And why? And so we need to look inward, and for us Xers and boomers in particular, a couple things we're really bad at. Number one is communication. Number two is, building trust. And I said a couple really, and number three is killing or changing sacred cows. And so as I talk about communication, we're just not good at communication because the people that raised us, the generation before us, they were not good at communication either. You were just expected to do the work. There was no communication on how to do it, and we didn't necessarily look for it. We just went out and did the job, whatever it might be, and if we screwed it up, we tried to fix it. And we failed a lot. For me, example, if I was working on a farm, I was sent out to go, blade or disc a field, and I wasn't given a lot of directions on how to do that, but we screwed a lot of things up, and then we tried to fix it, and the communication wasn't good. And building trust, we think we're good at building trust basically by our actions, but our lack of communication oftentimes doesn't build that trust. And we want trust. We want the millennials to trust us, but they were raised in a time when trust isn't real high. We know that today. They've grown up watching politicians, and if you polled millennials, none of them trust any politicians. They don't trust many things because of the media and everything that's going on out there, and has been for a while. And so we've got to communicate better to build that trust, and changing and killing sacred cows. And as we communicate, we need to explain the why. Why are we having you do something? Because millennials want to know why. They don't want to just do something because it's needed to be done. They want to know why. And nobody ever explained why to us. You just went and did it. We didn't expect the why. Millennials want the why, and that's good. And the reason that's good is because if there's anything that you're doing at home or at work or with a team or at school, and we cannot explain the why, then maybe we don't need to be doing it, which then goes along with killing and changing sacred cows. You see, this stuff just tumbles in line. It just downflows, right? Communication, building trust, asking why, which builds trust. And if we can't answer the why, then maybe we need to kill that sacred cow that we've done this our whole life because dad did it, or because grandpa did it. So if there's anything we're doing, we've got to explain the why. We also have to give routine feedback, which goes back to communication. We're not good at that, and millennials want to know how they're doing. Now, some people might view that as, we've got to just constantly powder their rear, we've got to bring them along. But it's not powdering their rear, it's not kissing their rear, it's giving them feedback so they know they want to be successful. The beauty about the rockstar millennials is they want to kick ass at work. They want to be successful at work, and they want us to help them get there. We have to explain why. We have to give them routine feedback. And as we do these things, we have to be very crystal clear. And I'll also end this vlog with failure. So as an Xer or Boomer, we went out and did things with very little communication, very little explanation. We never asked why, because if we did, we got a boot in the rear. And we just did it, and we screwed a lot of things up. We're used to failure. For millennials, they're not used to that, and that's okay. That goes back to the, every team gets a trophy culture, and we can't change that. Let's move forward. We need to bring millennials into our place of work, into our purpose, into our organizations. We talk to them about failure. We talk to them about it's okay to fail, because as you interact with millennials and you really talk to them a lot, many of them are scared of screwing something up. They don't want to fail, and we get that. But as an Xer and Boomer, we're okay with failure because we've done it forever and we've screwed a lot up. We've made a lot of mistakes, probably cost a lot of money, but we've moved forward. We're not scared of it, but they need our help in understanding failure is wonderful. Failure is an option. And guess what? If you screw it up, we're not going to verbally degrade you. We're not going to physically harm you. We're going to talk about the solution. And so if you're an Xer and a Boomer, though, and you find yourself playing what I call the Whack-A-Mole game, that when somebody brings you their failure or problem and you hammer them on the head with an answer, then that's not helping them learn in failure. Matter of fact, you're going to promote them and push them to hide the failure. And we want to bring that out. We recently had a conversation this morning on a failure within our own clinic by some of our own veterinarians, and that's okay. We talked about what went wrong. We talked about, hey, how do we fix it? And let's move this thing forward. And so it's our job as an Xer or Boomer to not be so hard on them that they want to hide it, but we help them understand and embrace failure. Failure is an option. And so as we continue to work through these things, for us Boomers and Xers, communication. We have to work on our communication. We have to tell them why. We have to help them understand failure as an option, which also leads to killing and changing some sacred cows. Hope you found this content great. If you like it, hit the subscribe button below. We'll see you next week. Cheers, amigos.